If you like to sneak up on enemies in Cyberpunk 2077 and one-shot them with mega damage, this video guide of my overpowered stealth build is for you. Character customization in Cyberpunk 2077 can feel daunting, but if it's a stealthy character who hits like a freight train you want, this video should help. With little effort, each bullet can do thousands of damage, and in complete silence. Tens of thousands sometimes. Having spent 45 hours plus as a stealthy bringer of death and early life insurance claims, I thought I'd share some of my tips and tricks. Even though I played a game on very hard difficulty, at level 12 I could take on enemies at level 28. Enemies with the red skull above their head. You just need good aim as you die rapidly if you are careless. Anyway, I hope you find the video useful. Subscribe and like if you do. It really helps the channel, and I'd love to reach 20,000 subscribers before terrible 2020 is done. Just a quick bit of admin. This video is sponsored by boostgaming.com, which is where you can buy digital currencies for various platforms, including Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo. All of the currencies come directly from source, so you don't have to worry about your money being wasted on a dodgy code. Okay, on with the show. Stealthy characters are designed to sneak about undetected, taking down enemies while your opponents remain unaware of the fact all their friends are dying one by one. The key requirements of my gunslinger is that you are hard to detect and can take down your enemy fast. We call that initial shot or hit an alpha, and it's important you hit hard. Why? Because if your opponent survives and can get away, the alarm will be raised and you'll need to run and hide or get shredded. You want to maximize your stealth for safety, experience, and damage reasons. Side note, stealth experience is awarded for damaging enemies with sneak attacks. You get this once the enemy dies. Performing a lethal or non-lethal takedown, concealing neutralized enemies in bins and other hiding places, and performing a takedown and hiding the body in a hiding place simultaneously. So even if you kill people with a gun and don't need to hide them, it can be worth sticking them in a box anyway. This experience goes towards your stealth level, with rewards given all the way up to level 20 of the skill. This is the same for other skills, except the rewards will be different. You can use a number of different weapons to achieve an alpha strike. I love handguns and snipers, with the former particularly deadly as it can be commonly silenced and therefore kills go unheard. There's also at least one silenced sniper, and it's an absolute beast, more on that later. You can also use your fists or daggers, katana swords, mantis blades, monowire, it's up to you. Handguns are, however, most effective because they have a decent range, more than adequate indoors, and also there's a perk to remove their range limitations. They fire fast enough if things go wrong, work well up close, and you can aim for the head, unlike various blunt and sharp weapons. You just need to be patient when aiming and have a reasonable scope. Now you can go around killing enemies with a takedown and hide the bodies. This definitely works, except that higher level enemies may detect you when you try, and then you're likely to die. Unless you have the items that slow down time when being discovered, you use Cyberpunk's bullet time Cyberware, or you can distract your opponent first. With a high alpha stealth character and a good handgun and sniper, I've taken on enemies around level 28 when I was only level 12, and that's with Cyberpunk's difficulty set to very hard. Good for experience, bad for loot, as I have a lot of shiny gear I cannot wear yet. Still, it sells for more money. Whether starting out or adapting a character, you will want to sink your attribute points into the cool attribute. Each level increases your crit damage by 2%, all resistances by 1%, stealth damage by 10%, reduces the speed at which enemies detect you in stealth by 0.5%, and increases monowire damage by 3. Monowire, spoiler alert, is a melee weapon that can attach to your arm. It seems to hit hard, has a decent range, and can dismember enemies. But I prefer the explosive nature of the projectile launch system, as it hits hard and is great against groups of enemies, particularly groups of enemies getting out of a vehicle. The reduced detection speed is a big plus, but it's the damage bonus and crit damage you really benefit from, as it helps you one-shot enemies, or at least severely reduce their health. You will want to max the cool attribute out. Body is useful if you want to punch harder, while reflexes helps with passive evasion, increases critical hit chance, and increases the damage of the mantis blades. So a decent stealth build will probably have a high level in cool and reflexes, maybe also hacking or body if that's your thing. There are many perks that benefit your weapon: stealth damage, ability to run if you get caught, or want to clear a room fast. Here are some of my favourites. Frozen Precision boosts headshot damage by 50%. To get it means sinking points into the passive Cold Blood perk and boosting its potency, such as duration, max stack amount, and other useful bonuses. The sooner you get the Cold Blood perk, the faster you can start gaining experience for it. Cold Blood is a tab next to Stealth. In Stealth, From the Shadows increases crit chance by 25% for 7 seconds. Trigger helps you move from one target to the next faster. Silent and Deadly increases damage dealt by silenced weapons while sneaking. And Strike from the Shadows increases your crit chance by 15% while sneaking. Assassin, meanwhile, applies 15% more damage to humans and the various knife and poison skills if you wish to use knives and poison. But beware, knives are thrown and lost as things stand. Yes, that legendary rare or epic knife will vanish once you have thrown it. Hopefully this is just a bug and you can retrieve it from the corpse of your victim in a future update. In reflexes, you'll want to boost the relevant weapon perks. I favour handguns, so I've increased my crit chance with pistols and revolvers by 12% with High Noon. Other useful perks include Desperado, Rio Bravo, Wild West, Rain Power, Attritional Fire, From Head to Toe, Westworld, Snowball Effect, and Grand Finale. As you can see, many of these perks help you hit hard and even harder if you keep getting those headshots and or kills. So make sure you have a decent gun or weapon. More on that later. For blades, you will want to sink points into the equivalent blades perks, such as Sting Like a Bee, Roaring Waters, Crimson Dance, Stuck Pig, Shifting Hands, Blessed Blade, Fiery Blast, Judge, Jury, and Executioner, Unbroken Spirit, Bloodlust, Float Like a Butterfly, and Deathbolt. Sounds like my Spotify playlist. Stealth Ninjutsu is also great, as it means dealing 100% more damage and a guaranteed critical hit. My character favours weapons, but you should consider some investment in breach protocol and quick hacking, so you can manipulate cameras and enemies before a fight starts. Reducing the damage resistance of all enemies in a group, for instance, can be useful. If you plan on using fists, you'll be sinking points into the athletics and street brawler areas. Perk highlights include Steel and Chrome, Cardio Cure, The Rock, Dazed, Flurry, Crushing Blows, Opportune Strike, Payback, and Frenzy, my follow-up album. Bear in mind that the maximum level of your character is 50. And you can start with 3 points allocated to each attribute. That means 17 points maximum per attribute and the chance of maxing out 3 attributes at best. When you max out an attribute, you get a trait. This can be leveled as much as you want, so in the endgame this can be handy if you have nothing else to improve as you level up. The problem is that traits require 2 level 20 attributes. For stealth, you get Toxicology. This is a bonus to poison effect duration and requires level 20 in cool and stealth. Each level adds 0.2 seconds of extra duration. For handguns, it's called the good, the bad, and the ugly, like the famous film. This grants a 30% increase in armor and damage if you land a critical hit. Each level adds 1% extra. You need level 20 in reflexes and assault. For Cold Blood, it's called Merciless, and it increases the chance of a critical by 10% and critical damage by 25%. Each level increases crit chance and crit damage by 1 and 3% respectively. You need level 20 in Cold Blood and Cool. Also bear in mind that you can re-spec your perk points one time only, and it costs €100,000, so it will take a while to afford. The item comes from a Ripper doc and is called Tabula Rasa. This translates to blank slate, which makes sense. Sadly, however, at the time of making this guide, you cannot respec your attribute points. So play the game, see what kind of gameplay you enjoy most, and then focus on the relevant attributes. When you plan to nuke an opponent in one or as few shots as possible, the gun matters, as previously said. My Overture handgun doubles the damage of headshots. The higher this number, the better, and does a lot of damage per shot. Single hard hitting weapons work best for an alpha strike. So don't just look at the DPS, look at the bullet damage. Said multipliers can be randomly applied, so always check each weapon in your inventory before discarding or selling. Then you want a silencer so you don't alert other enemies. A good silencer can significantly increase stealth attack damage, 2.5 times in the case of the XC10 Strix, but at the expense of base damage. So make sure in stealth mode when you pull the trigger for maximum damage. The distance from an opponent reduces the speed at which you will be able to be seen, so a good scope can help. It also improves the damage over range and can make it easier for you to line up a long range headshot. As for a sniper assassin build, if you want to take on enemies that are really strong, you should maintain maximum distance and aim for the head. The Ashura Smart Sniper Rifle does a decent amount of damage per bullet, and it has a 3 times multiplier if you hit the head, or around about that figure. Two arguably better sniper rifles, in terms of damage anyway, come from completing Panam's side quests in Act 2. Aiming is manual with smart guns until you get the right implant, at which point this gun can fire bullets that home in on the target. Yes, you can shoot over or round some obstacles, just aim for slightly longer and above the target to target the head. If you miss, enemies will be after you, and most snipers have a low fire rate, so prepare to retreat or swap weapons. Enemy accuracy trails off at big distances, even when you get enemies with a sniper, so stay back and behind cover. If your sniper or weapon of choice is rapid fire, then prepare to hold or bash that trigger and hope you do enough damage fast. There is a small window of opportunity before the alarm is raised. As for armor and mods, prioritize damage output and armor amount in case you do get shot at. Movement speed is great too, and there are some useful mods such as ping and reboot optics to help you discover and eliminate enemies without detection. I would also consider the Cyberware implants that help slow down time, as this can help you get a headshot or multiple headshots when discovered, or simply run away and hide. Your call, you big coward. One example from Vic called Sandevistan is bullet time. You can clear rooms fast with the 70% reduction in time and sizable damage boost, especially as the duration is 20 seconds and it recharges fast, I believe every 30 seconds. You will however need tens of thousands to buy it and the necessary skill level to fit it. Also, it can be useful for getting around if you buy a leg implant. One lets you do a super jump when you hold down the button, the other a double jump. I saved and tried both and think the latter is better for getting around and any parkour moments. And that's it for this Cyberpunk 2077 stealth character guide. I've not covered absolutely everything because there are many routes to success. This is just what I personally enjoy using and can be highly effective, even from a low level. Write a comment if you have anything else to add, and be sure to like and subscribe if you found the video useful. Happy to make more of these Cyberpunk 2077 guides if people want them. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, bye.